Dr. Willow Show. I'm Dr. Willow, and I'm excited to be here with you. And I have the vulva puppet. Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Happy Friday. We come every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific because we love to talk about sexology and vaginas and vulvas and penises and all the things about sex. Today, we're going to talk about vulva facials. What the hell is a vulva facial? We've been talking about it all week on the group, and I'm excited to share with you. I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. So this is the place where we're bridging together sexuality, spirituality, and medicine for the benefit of not only your vulva, but your entire body, your heart, your adrenals, your pituitary, your pineal gland, all these amazing, wonderful glands inside of your body. Hello. So I cannot wait to share with you. Do you know, this is just so shocking. The average woman spends about $300,000 in her lifetime on facial products and skincare products, things for the face. $300,000 in a lifetime. That's enough to buy a house in some states. In some states, it's enough to buy several houses. I'm just curious, like, how many of you actually do own your house? If you do own your house, write it in the chat box and let me know what state you're in. You don't have to write the price of your house, but $300,000, you could get like a whole rental unit in maybe Kansas or something like that for the amount of money you spend on your face. So my question for you is, how much money do you spend in your lifetime, or even in a month, or even in a year? How much do you spend on products for your vulva? How much? Most of us, the answer is going to be zero. So write that in the chat box. If you do spend any amount of money per year or per month on your vulva, I'd love to know what it is. There's no statistic on that, so I don't know, but I think it would be interesting to find out. So as we talk about the 3 ways to bring more pleasure to the lips between your legs, we are going to be discussing what a vulva facial is, because those 3 ways to bring more pleasure to the lips between your legs is really the same thing as giving yourself a vulva facial. And that's what I'm going to explain for you today. I'm so excited. It's just like, it's actually one of those things that when you do it, you feel so invigorated. You feel so much more alive. You feel so much more in your femininity, in your body. You have a whole new awareness of the lips between your legs. And it's just an absolutely fantastic way to drop into your sexuality and feel that sensual aspect moving through your body so much more freely and easily. So give me the next 20 to 30 minutes of your time. I'll try to keep it brief, but maybe around 20 minutes. And I'm going to reveal to you 3 mind-blowing practices that will bring more pleasure to these lips and explain to you what a vulva facial is. So way number one is, we all take such good care of our facial skin, and I'm in total support of that. I think that's a good idea. But when you are, taking care of your facial skin, your chest skin, you want to make sure that you're using the right products, because there are so many products on the market, especially more mainstream products like Estee Lauder and Lancome, those type of products. Those companies can actually put a very small percentage, 0.04% of estrogen into their products to plump up your skin. And the problem with putting exogenous estrogens on your skin is that it goes into your bloodstream and your glands start to read it as a natural estrogen, and it starts to mess up your hormones. And I have seen women's charts where their estrogen levels are totally whacked, just completely not what they should be. And the only thing they're doing, they're not taking birth control, they're not doing creams, they're not doing anything. The only thing they're doing is using anti anti-wrinkle creams from Estee Lauder or Lancome. God bless. Everyone has to make their own choice. I tend to err on the side of extremely holistic and really just getting your internal, your endogenous hormones to function at maximum capacity. So, eliminating those excess or external or exogenous hormones is really important. And so, just look around your bathroom, notice like how many bottles of creams and lotions. I mean, how many tubes of lip gloss and chapstick and lipstick do you actually own? I haven't counted mine, but it's definitely upwards of 20 for sure. But then how many products do you have for these lips? How many products have you actually purchased for these beautiful, amazing lips? That is the question. So write that in the chat box. I'm so curious. As far as skincare goes, I'm always looking for the most natural products, the best products on the market so that I can tell my people, what to use and how to use it and what's going to be the best for them. Because I think skin is so important. Really being comfortable in the skin that you're in is a magical experience when you really think about it. And so I love to use a product line called Shankara. They are such an amazing skincare line. So Shankara, I'm going to pop it in the chat box because I want you all to have a link for this skincare line before we move on to our vulva facial. This amazing skincare line is really like what keeps my skin glowing, what keeps it really healthy, sloughing off the dead skin, and a facial once a week by my amazing facialist, Jen Hawkins, over here at Pleasure Point Skincare. And she is just, every month I go in and she just gets all that old dead skin off. And it really, I can't tell you how many compliments I get on my skin on a regular basis. And this is coming from somebody who had very cystic acne, scars. Most of my life, I hated the skin I was in. Most of my life, I was really uncomfortable in the skin that I had on my body. And so it's been a journey, it's really been a journey to come to that place where I'm like, oh my God, people are complimenting me on my skin. Wow. And it's been happening for a while now. And I really love this Shankara skincare line. So check it out if you're looking for a new skincare line. I could go on and on about the importance of facial skin, chest skin, skin of your arms, but really what I want to talk about is the skin between your legs today, and just tuning into this outer portion of your vagina. We think of like the vagina as the whole thing, but this whole outer portion, the labia, the inner labia, the outer labia, the clitoral hood, the clitoral head, all of this is called the vulva, right? And so a vulva facial is really where you are giving this outer portion so much more energy and time and attention. Oh, she's going to love it. And one of the best things about giving yourself a vulva facial is it makes the skin of your face glow as well. So that's why we can call it a vulva facial, because it really works on your entire system. And most of your nerve endings are found on the vulva, not so much inside the vagina, but on the outer portion. So spending more time, more pleasuring of the vulva is really going to turn you on so much more. Of course, we know the clitoris, we know about the head of the clitoris, but there's these legs that are inside the body. They can be like 1.5 inches long, these legs of your clitoris. So the whole body of the clitoris is much, much, much bigger than what we see. But even the head of the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings on it. I mean, that's pretty amazing. This tiny little tip right here has 8,000 nerve endings on it. And the entire shaft of the penis, just to compare a little bit, has 4,000 nerve endings on it. So 4,000 nerve endings on this whole entire surface of the shaft of the penis versus 8,000, twice as many nerve endings on this tiny little tip. So that tiny little tip of your clitoral head is like, woo, it's explosive. And when you give it attention and find the caress and the sensitivity that it loves, it already brings a glow to your face. It's just miraculous. And so, these inner and outer labia, they're very, very sensitive to the touch. If you've ever had someone caress or massage or just witness, like really love and witness your vulva for 20 to 30 minutes, then you've done more than most women have done, and the benefit of really just having that time for your vulva, and you can do it for yourself. It's wonderful when someone will do it for you, but you can do it for yourself as well. I'm just curious, like, how many of you have had that experience, like really have had someone just spend time, quality time, just witnessing your vulva, massaging it, caressing it. That might be a little edgy to put in the chat box, but if you're willing, I would love to know. It's just so fun to talk about these things and to share, because we're all in the same boat. We've all been way on this edge of the spectrum of our sexuality, and we all have this vast potential of where we can go in our relationship to our sexuality. So there's a couple of products that I want to share with you for vulva facials. And the first one is called Cleanse Her. So this is such a fantastic product. I mean, every time I get in the shower, I start with this, because what it does is it makes your vulva feel super plump and super warm and just real happy. So leave it on, put it on first thing when you get in the shower, and then you leave it on, you do all your other hair and the rest of your body, all that stuff. And then, by the end, when you're ready to rinse everything down, it's just like vulva is singing a happy song. She is super happy and feeling good. What's in here that makes it feel so warm and plump is mandarin orange. It's just really a powerful, powerful product that I would recommend to any woman. So we've got some links for you, for those of you who want to really get down with your vulva and give yourself a vulva facial. Start with this in the shower. Okay. And then the next thing you could do, you could give yourself a mini facial, or you could give yourself a big facial for the vulva. And I'll explain that in a second. But for the mini facial, after you get out of the shower, you're going to use this Revitalize Her serum. So it's actually a serum that is specifically made for your vulva. And it's got this great little dropper. And so you just squeeze one dropper right down the lips of your vulva and then rub it around and enjoy. Like, really just give your vulva some time, some attention, some beautiful love. Really just love her up. So we've got a link for that. We'll pop it in the chat box. It's just so powerful. Now, the second way that you can bring more pleasure to the lips between your legs is doing a yoni steam. Should really be called a vulva steam, because it's really on the outside of your vagina. When you do a yoni steam, it's basically you make an infusion. So this is like if you're doing a more whole, complete vulva facial, you'll get in the shower, you'll do your Cleanse Her. It'll feel all warm and fuzzy and great. And then you'll get out and you'll have like a tea infusion prepared. And it's just hot water with some herbs in it. You can use anything from like rose petals to lavender, lemon balm, chamomile, red clover, tulsi. Any herbs that you kind of have in your kitchen are going to work great. And then you just want to make like a big tea infusion in a big bowl. And then all you have to do then is just kind of rest rest yourself forward. Rest yourself forward on like a pillow or a bolster or a couch or something, and straddle your legs over that bowl and let all that steam come up into your vulva. And really, it's going to feel like you have a velvet pussy at the end of this. It's amazing when you do a yoni steam. They do have all these very special fancy boxes that you can get for yoni steams, and God bless if you want to get one of those, but all you really need is a bowl and a towel. You want to put that towel around your hips so that steam stays inside and just really bathes your entire pelvic bowl. Then after you do that steam, you want to take your Revitalize Her serum and then take that all over the vulva and give yourself a beautiful massage. Find those places on your vulva that feel like pleasurable and enjoyable. So, does this sound like something that your vulva would like? Just check in with her for a moment. Just ask her, is this something that you would like to experience? And, if she gives you a yes, write that in the chat box. I want to see, like, what is it that she really would love to experience? Always good to talk to your yoni and ask her what she needs, what kind of attention she needs. Would she really appreciate this level of attention? We'll go ahead and, anytime you do a yoni steam, those can be really, really good. You don't want to do that while you're menstruating or if you've got like a yeast infection or something like that. So don't do a yoni steam then. But it's fantastic for fibroids, PCOS, endometriosis, menstrual cramps. So you would want to do it before you start your period just to prevent those menstrual cramps from being so severe. And it's also amazing for depression. Now, after you've done your steam and you've got your hydrating serum on and you've done a little love fest with your vulva, then just like wrap yourself up in some warm blankets and just lay there, hug your knees into chest. You could do a little happy baby. Just kind of wrap yourself up and really give yourself some deep, deep love and squeezes and attention. Now, the third way, 3 ways to pleasure the lips between your legs. So the third way is with the jade egg. So how many of you have a jade egg? Write it in the chat box if you do. I want to know if you've already got one. And if you do have one, how often are you using it? I'm curious about that because many of us have these and then they just sit in our underwear drawer for years and years and years. And we're like, I think I have one, but I don't remember. So how many of you have one and how often do you use it? And then if you don't have one, we're going to put a link in here for you to purchase one if you decide to. I love the jade egg. There are many different stones for jade, for the yoni eggs. They've got obsidian and there's rose quartz and there's a lot of different kinds of stones. But the jade is the most traditional one. This jade egg, jade is very popular in China. This comes from ancient Chinese wisdom. And so the jade is, it carries these really powerful properties like for luck and friendship and connection and abundance, prosperity. Like it's just got all these really powerful properties, especially the nephrite jade. We sell the nephrite jade eggs primarily because I just love the properties of that specific type of jade. And so after you've got you've given yourself a nice vulva facial and your yoni's all warm and supple and slippery from your serum, remember from the serum, then you can take your egg and you can just begin to just roll it around the lips, the inner lips, the outer lips. Like I think it feels really good for me to roll it along these outer lips, like with some good pressure, like right here, just along the outer lips with some good pressure. And that kind of starts to warm up the vestibular bulbs and all that erectile tissue inside of your vulva begins to get bigger and brighter and more turned on, and then run it up and down through the inner lips of your labia. Your turn on is your own responsibility. We kind of grow up thinking like, that person outside of myself is going to turn me on. And that person might inspire a lot of turn on inside of you, but your turn on is coming from inside of you, just like your emotions are coming from inside of you. So taking responsibility for that for yourself is so powerful. So there are lots of very specific practices that you can do with your jade egg. You can do weightlifting practices to really strengthen the PC, the pubococcygeal muscles. You can do breath work practices. You can do practices, visualizations. I mean, there's a myriad of things that you can do with the jade egg. And I teach all of those in my Jade Egg Remedy program. So stay tuned for that. We're going to do a round of that soon. But for those of you who just want to like start something with your jade egg, you're going to roll it around, have a good time with your vulva and your jade egg, and then go ahead and pop it in and do some squeezes, do some Kegels. It's not going to hurt you. Don't do them too strong, too contracted. Don't make your muscles go into spasm or anything, but just do some nice gentle lifts with your egg as you get started with your jade egg practice. So, my friends, we've got links for you to purchase all of these things: the jade egg, the cleanse her, the revitalize her. And, I recommend getting them all like this. It's not that expensive. I can't remember the price, but it's like 20, 25, 30, something like that. And I'm not sure what this is either, but it is worth it. It is worth it. And if you're spending $300,000 a year on this skin, like why not spend, under $100 on this skin between your legs? And once you kind of got your purchases in, it's going to be so exciting and fun to get these in the mail. And then put it on your calendar. Like, when is your next vulva facial? I always put it on my calendar. Every time I get a facial for my face, when I'm done, I get the next one on the calendar. So same thing for your vulva. You got to get this stuff on the calendar, my friends, or it's just not going to work out. You're not going to do it. You just won't prioritize it and do it. Maybe every so often you'll have a spontaneous one, but it's best to get it on the calendar, I promise you. And if you have an amazing, loving partner in your life, God bless you, and share this video with him and let him know like what a vulva facial is, and let him partake in it. Let him do this caressing and loving and witnessing of your vulva and telling you how beautiful she is. And then the connection between the two of you, that drive, that desire between the two of you is going to get so maximized. It's going to grow into something so beautiful and so maximized. So that's it for today, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next Friday at 10 a.m. and I can't wait to see you then.